Procrastination, the silent assassin. It doesn't strike with fangs or claws, but with a whisper, a gentle nudge, a promise of comfort. There's always later. It purrs, coiling around ambition like a snake. And that's the joke, the cruel game. Later never comes. Procrastination doesn't come crashing through the gates. It seeps in, seducing the mind with the illusion of endless time. But time is the cruelest of thieves, and procrastination is its partner in crime, stealing opportunities not with force, but with a lullaby, a lull that leaves the strongest warriors idle, weapons rusting and dreams rotting. Those who underestimate it are the first to fall. Procrastination wears a friendly face, offering ease and comfort, like a trusted companion. Rest, it says. There's always tomorrow. But what it doesn't tell you is that every tomorrow it promises is already dying, strangled before it even sees the light. It steals potential with the lightest touch, leaving behind the cold corpse of what could have been. Opportunity is not a patient thing, it's a wild beast, snarling and ready to be seized. Procrastination tames it, muzzles it, until all that's left is regret. And regret, as we know, is the heaviest of chains. Funny, isn't it, how easily we surrender to this thief? How willingly we hand over our hours, our days, our lives, all for the fleeting comfort of delay. Procrastination never has to fight us. It's not a war. It's a surrender, a handing over of dreams for the empty promise of ease. And once it has a hold, once we've let ourselves slip into its grasp, getting free becomes a war of its own. By then, opportunity has moved on, found someone braver, someone who doesn't wait, someone who understands that time shows no mercy. Opportunity is a cruel lover. It doesn't wait for sweet nothings or empty promises. It demands action, hunger, an unrelenting will. And while procrastination rocks us to sleep, opportunity finds the hands that are awake, that are ready to bleed and fight and conquer. Inaction is a betrayal, a crime against potential. Every moment we let slip away is a dagger in the back of what could have been. Opportunity is ruthless, favoring those who pounce, who don't wait for perfect conditions or gentle paths. It's there for the taking, but never for the waiting. And those who think procrastination is harmless, that it's just a little rest, a little delay, are the first to watch their dreams turn to dust. It's not gentle. It's a slow, insidious poison, killing not with drama, but with silence. The greatest empires, the boldest plans, all undone not by force, but by hesitation, by the comfort of not now. And then the world moves on with or without those who hesitated. Procrastination whispers that there's always time, but time is a lie we tell ourselves, a phantom that slips away while we sleep. There's a darkness to knowing how fragile opportunity is, how easily it can be stolen. To understand that every moment matters, that inaction is a slow death. Only the ruthless thrive in this world. Only the ones who refuse to wait, who tear through the false promises of ease and strike when the iron is hot. The wise know that opportunity is a blade, sharp, dangerous, ready to be wielded. Procrastination is the hand that drops the sword, the hesitation that costs everything. And in a world that shows no forgiveness, hesitation is the first step toward defeat. Every day spent waiting is a day surrendered. Procrastination asks for nothing more than a pause, a breath, a moment. But that moment becomes a habit, a cycle, a life lost to waiting. The future belongs to those who act, who don't fear the discomfort of now. Comfort is the enemy, the siren song that lures the ambitious into stillness. To wait is to gamble with time itself, and time is the most ruthless of adversaries. There are no second chances, no grace periods. Procrastination robs us of everything and we let it. That's the greatest crime. Not that it's powerful, but that we hand over our lives so willingly. Some call it patience, the waiting game. But patience and procrastination are not the same. Patience is strategic, a hunter waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Procrastination is a coward, too afraid to face the challenge, whispering that there will be other chances. But the world belongs to those who know that sometimes there is no perfect moment, only the present one. And that moment, that heartbeat, is the only chance we have to change anything. Those who act while others wait, who strike while others hesitate, are the ones who carve their names the stone of this unforgiving world. Opportunity is a cruel, fleeting thing. It does not knock twice. And those who wait for an invitation, for the stars to align, will watch as others take what was meant to be theirs. The brave don't wait for the right time. They make time right. They snatch opportunities by the throat, refuse to be gentle with their dreams. 24 hours. That's all the world gives you in a day. The same 24 hours that built empires, forged legends, and changed the course of history. Napoleon didn't ask for more time. He conquered with the hours he had. Tesla, driven mad by the hunger to create, wrung every second dry, turning dreams into technology that reshaped reality. Einstein bent the very fabric of the universe with time he never wasted, each moment spent unraveling the mysteries that elude lesser minds. Greatness is carved out of those same 24 hours. The rest are left looking on, eyes wide with envy, because they spent theirs on the small and the meaningless. Time is a currency no one can earn back. It slips away, whispering promises of decades and years, lulling you into a false sense of security. But those who have power, who command the world, know that time is a cruel trickster. The illusion of plenty is the deadliest trap of all. The naive spend years planning, waiting for the perfect moment, convinced they have all the time in the world. Time is a liar. It seduces, and then it slips away. The wise know this and treat each second as if it could be their last. Urgency is the key, the fire that keeps dreams from fading into forgotten wishes. Procrastination isn't just a bad habit. It's a silent executioner. Each delay, each moment wasted is a choice to let life slip through your fingers, to let opportunities rot. Think of the life you could have lived, the empire you could have built, the power you could have seized, the legacy you could have left. Procrastination doesn't take years away in one fell swoop. It takes seconds, minutes, hours, until decades have vanished. And what remains is a life half-lived, haunted by what could have been. The price of delay is steep, and the most tragic part, the cost is always paid with potential. Masterpieces aren't born in dreams. They're forged in urgency, in the relentless pursuit of greatness that cares nothing for comfort or leisure. Those who understand this burn through time with purpose, knowing that even the smallest waste is a betrayal of destiny. Time laid out in years and decades is the great sedative, a lullaby for the complacent. But the powerful awaken, they grip time by the throat and demand that it bend to their will. The clock is a heartless god, and only those who work with urgency, who treat each hour as sacred, can hope to wrest something meaningful from its grip. Imagine standing among the greats, knowing you had the same hours, the same gift of time they did. But instead of using it to conquer, to innovate, to become unforgettable, you spent it waiting. History remembers the bold, the ones who never hesitated, who threw themselves into the fire, knowing that time shows no mercy. The rest, they are nothing more than shadows, whispers of could-have-beens that dissolve into the void. The world is brutal, and it doesn't care about intentions or plans. It rewards only action, only the relentless, only those who refuse to let time dictate their fate. Time's cruelty lies in its silence, It doesn't shout as it passes, it slips by, invisible, leaving only the echo of lost chances. It never stops to pity the hesitant. It simply takes, and once it's gone, it never returns. The powerful understand this. They know time must be mastered, beaten into submission, used ruthlessly. While the world wastes hours on distractions, the driven forge ahead, understanding that life, real life, demands urgency. Masterpieces demand urgency. Even becoming a masterpiece demands urgency. Nothing great was ever made by those who waited, who let time mock them as they stood idle. Comfort is the enemy. It tempts with rest, with the illusion of endless tomorrows. But comfort is the killer of potential. Every second spent indulging it is a second that could have been used to build something magnificent. Greatness has no patience for the comfortable. It comes to those who understand that time is a battlefield, that every moment must be fought for, won, and put to use. The masters of time are not gentle, they're ruthless. They leave no hour unspent, no day wasted, while the rest sit in the softness of waiting, deluding themselves with the lie of later. There's a darkness in understanding that you are running out of time, but it is a necessary darkness, a fire that pushes you to act, to do, to create. The ones who fear it stay safe, stay small. But those who embrace it, who let that fire burn away excuses and delay, are the ones who become immortal. The greatest crime is to live a life untouched by urgency, to let time win without ever putting up a fight. The seconds tick on, indifferent, and everyone is a challenge, a call to act now, to create now, to dominate now. They say you only live once, but that's not true. You live every day, every second you seize and use. What you don't use, what you let procrastination steal, is gone forever. The past has a way of dressing itself up, wearing a mask of gold that makes even the darkest days seem radiant. But that illusion is the cruelest lie of all. The past always looks better than it was, safer, kinder, a place drenched in a false glow that makes the present feel harsh in comparison. But that glow only exists because the past is gone, out of reach, beyond pain and struggle. It becomes easy to romanticize, to long for a time that cannot hurt you anymore. Yet clinging to it, yearning for it, is as pointless as morning shadows. The past cannot be resurrected. It only haunts, whispering promises of comfort that keep the weak trapped, unable to embrace the now. Patience. A word spoken like a virtue, but a double-edged sword if ever there was one. There are two kinds. The patience that grinds bones, that drips sweat and blood into the soil to make dreams grow, and the patience that waits, idle and useless, rotting under the weight of its own stagnation. One kind of patience moves mountains, shakes the earth, forces fate to bow. The other grows cobwebs, leaves souls mummified in their own inertia. The first kind is a weapon wielded by the determined, the fierce. The second is a curse, clung to by the fearful, those who are too meek to wage war on life. Patience without action is the mother of all failures. It lulls with soft promises, convincing the lazy that waiting is enough. But waiting never built empires, never created legacies. It is the patience that moves, that acts with purpose and discipline, that carves names into stone and echoes across time. Greatness is born not in the idle patience of daydreamers, but in the brutal patience of warriors who understand that time is a tool, not a crutch. Those who sit back and watch the world pass by, hoping for miracles, deserve nothing but the dust that gathers around them. The world owes them nothing, and neither does time. The ones who rise to power know that idleness is death. Patience in action is a flame that never dims, a resolve that keeps pushing even when every muscle screams, every bone cracks. It's the kind that doesn't quit, doesn't slow, doesn't wait for an easier path. The strong have patience with their struggle, not with inaction. They wait, but only in the way predators wait, poised, coiled, ready to strike. Every second spent idle is a second wasted, a betrayal of all the work that could have been done, all the mountains that could have been moved. This is the patience of conquerors, not victims. Those who waste their time waiting for the perfect moment, the ideal chance, end up buried in cobwebs, wrapped in regrets that whisper of lost opportunities. They tell themselves that patience is a virtue, that waiting is wise, but their patience is cowardice dressed as wisdom, a hollow comfort that keeps them chained to the same spot. The world belongs to the ones who understand that patience and inaction are enemies, to the ones who push, who grind, who never let time slip by unchallenged. Inaction is a slow death, a rot that spreads until it leaves nothing but emptiness behind. Time shows no favor to the idle. It watches cold and indifferent as the weak wait and the strong rise. The past, the future, none of it matters if you sit and hope for something to change on its own. The only patience worth having is the patience to endure the fire of hard work, to bleed for what you want, to wait only because you're too busy grinding to notice time slipping away. The patient who move, who act, create legacies. The patient who wait do nothing but fade, swallowed by the years they wasted. There is no glory in waiting for life to hand you what you want. The patient who do nothing are slaves to the whims of time, waiting for a day that never comes, a tomorrow that never arrives. It's the patient who break their backs, who build with their own hands, who see rewards worth having. The weak think time is a river that will eventually flow in their favor. The wise know time is a beast, one that must be wrestled into submission, beaten until it yields. Patience in work is a battle. Patience in idleness is surrender. Every empire was built on the patience of hard labor, the relentless push against impossibility. Not one stone was laid, not one dream realized by those who sat back and waited. The greatest forces in history acted with patience, yes, but the kind of patience that scorches the earth, that turns desire into blood and sweat. The idle patience of dreamers who sit and wait is worth nothing. It leaves them behind, forgotten, mocked by those who moved mountains while they watched, too afraid to act. The past is a comfort and the future a temptation, but both are irrelevant to those who understand the urgency of now. This moment, this second, these are all that matter. Patience, if it is to be honored, must serve the now, must be a flame that burns for progress, never idleness. The world is no place for those who wait to be handed greatness. Sometimes the world looks down on the quiet ones, the ones lurking in shadows, dismissed and underestimated. They are the overlooked, the ones who blend into the gray of mediocrity, whom no one imagines capable of greatness. But it is often these very souls who rise to do the unimaginable. While others waste time flaunting hollow power and empty words, these quiet monsters understand the most lethal weapon is not noise, but respect. Respect for their time. Respect for the discipline that sharpens their will into something deadly. They move with purpose, never forcing results, but forcing unwavering commitment to the path they've chosen. The world is cruel to those it underestimates. It mocks, scoffs, and laughs until it's too late to take it back. By then the damage is done, and the quiet ones have already carved their names into history. They have no use for arrogance or showmanship. Instead, they labor in silence, with a terrifying focus, committing to their work while others are distracted by the shine of superficial victories. They know time is not to be abused, but wielded like a scalpel, precise and merciless. Every second wasted is a weapon dulled, an edge lost in the grind of mindless comfort. They don't force results because they know that outcomes are a consequence of consistent effort. The world loves instant gratification, demands quick wins, But these souls respect the long game. They don't rush the process. Instead, they build foundations so deep, so unshakable, that by the time anyone realizes what they've done, it's already too late to stop them. Their patience is a weapon. Their commitment, a fortress. When they act, they do so with a force that shatters expectations because nothing was left to chance. Every step was calculated, every second accounted for. People are quick to judge, quick to write off those who aren't loud about their ambitions. But it is the quiet ones, the ones who speak through action rather than words, who end up shifting the world on its axis. They understand that force is wasted on impatience, that real power comes from honoring the process, from never losing focus on the end game. And when they finally move, when their moment comes, they do so with an impact that can't be ignored. The world, which once looked down on them, has no choice but to bow to the quiet strength that took years to build. The unseen work, the relentless commitment in the dark. This is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The world loves stories of overnight success, but is blind to the years of quiet labor that made it possible. These people don't need validation, they don't seek applause. The applause means nothing when the work itself demands respect. Commitment, not shortcuts, drives them forward. They have long abandoned the need to prove themselves to the world. The only thing that matters is the promise they made to themselves, a pact of loyalty to their own growth, their own power. Greatness is forged not in noise, but in silence. The ones who respect time understand that it is a ruthless ally. It grants gifts only to those who value it, those who bend it to their will instead of squandering it. The loud and arrogant treat time like an infinite resource, never realizing that their neglect is costing them everything. But the disciplined ones know better. They respect the hours given. They work as if every second is a coin spent from a finite fortune. And in this respect lies their strength. A strength that doesn't crack under pressure but becomes sharper with each passing day. Those who achieve the unimaginable don't wait for permission or recognition. They are not fueled by the opinions of others but by an internal fire that demands nothing less than greatness. The world might be blind to their struggle, deaf to their silent sacrifices, but these souls care little. They don't chase results. They pull results to them with the magnetic force of their will, their respect for the grind. They know that success built on shortcuts and shallow victories is doomed to collapse. Only that which is built with intention and time can stand the test of history. The world may think them mad for their level of discipline, their patience that borders on the fanatical. But madness and brilliance often share the same blood. While others waste precious ores, these souls are constructing monuments to their ambition, layer by layer, brick by brick. By the time the world catches on, they are already so far ahead that no force can pull them back. The unimaginable becomes reality, and the once dismissed underdogs become legends whispered about in awe and disbelief. Those who have achieved the impossible know the cost. They've sacrificed comfort, ignored the call of distractions, and dedicated themselves to a higher purpose. The world cannot understand the level of devotion it takes, the respect that must be paid to the ticking of the clock. Living the same year over and over isn't life. It's a slow, quiet death. It's a shadow of existence, a loop so carefully disguised as routine that most never even realize they've been trapped. 75 years could pass in a blink, every day bleeding into the next, till one day there's nothing left but regrets, unfinished dreams, and the bitter taste of wasted potential. Imagine waking up one day, ancient and weary, realizing that every year was a copy of the one before, that nothing you did ever mattered. The world was yours to conquer, but you chose comfort over chaos, safety over significance, and now it's too late to change, too late to fight back. The ordinary love to speak of stability, of tradition, as if there's some nobility in walking the same path until it leads to the grave. But stability is a prison. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Those who repeat the same year, chasing the same hollow achievements, are merely treading water in an ocean of mediocrity. They grow old, but never grow bold. The world needs disruptors, dreamers, the ones who set fire to routine and build something extraordinary from the ashes, the ones who dare to live, to tear down their comfort and face the darkness head-on, are the ones who make a mark that time itself can't erase.